I'm speaking to Julia Campbell Carter today. Julia, hi. Tell us a little about yourself and what you do.
Hi, Stephanie. Thank you for letting me part of the interview today. I am an art advisor living and working in London, and I help people build up their collections, and I speak for HSBC as their private speaker for their private clients. About artist investment. I've done it 2 or 3 times. I also spoke in Frankfurt to Union Investment for the same people, sort of like 60 men, about what to invest in. And I love art. And I have, basically, you probably want to know where I come from or how I come to artists.
Yes, what is your journey, Julia? Tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got to where you are today as an art advisor to people with collections who start collections or have collections, or you build up collections.
Well, I studied law many, many years ago. And but my real passion, very much to the request of my father, but my real passion was always art. And I was taken to museums in Germany, current exhibitions. My parents dragged me everywhere, which I loved. But at the time wasn't quite so sure about it. And as I got older, I started to research about artists. Then my parents took me to exhibitions all over Europe. And everywhere we went on a holiday, we were in art exhibitions. And in my spare time, at the age, I think as far as I can remember, at the age of 10, I started to look into these artists. I was mesmerized. And then in the end, I studied modern and contemporary art at Christie's.
And that's how long ago, Julia? When did you start working as an art advisor?
About 7 or 8 years ago. And I have to say, it's been a super journey. It's been an absolute super journey because a friend of mine set me up in Geneva with a Middle Eastern client. And he had a collection of Impressionism. And I was supposed to help him build up the collection in the contemporary art. Which I did, actually. I sold my very first photograph. I'll never forget it. And that gave me the confidence to basically get going.
Amazing, Julia. So what is your main motivator?
My main motivator is that I'm intrinsically into people. I absolutely love people. I love to create an energy of happiness. And I found that art is a perfect medium for it. Because you see a smile on a face that you normally might not see. It's always a good point of communication between people. It has something that enhances a feeling of happiness in you, and that is what I love.
And of course, you create value for your clients. Julia, how do you do that?
Well, I think if somebody comes to me, I'm very honored. But in generally, I would always advise that you have to find somebody who helps you. If you want to build a house, you take an architect. If you want to diversify your portfolio in the finance world, you ask a broker for help. So an art advisor will probably go with what should go with what you like, what the client likes, and then build something around it that enhances the value, either from the same genre or the same epoch, or they specify just on female or male artists. So what I do is I give guidance. I help people build up their collection in a very homogenic way, not like somebody who does it without advice. They would buy something they heard from the neighbor board, or a friend said you should buy, and then they buy another artwork that doesn't really go with what you initially started with. So you have to have a bit of structure in it.
Julia, and what do you think is your superpower? What makes you so good?
My superpower is, and that is a God-given gift, is I'm fundamentally empathetic. I really, really know when somebody walks into a room what they feel, what they're like, how their heart ticks, and that is something that I help them bring out. So I basically say to them, if they are interested, if they come to me, if they consult me, I would know within 5 minutes what they really like. And I've had difficult clients. I've had clients who sort of, wouldn't show their cards, wouldn't show anything. And I have client, and then in the end, they thank me and say, God, you got it right. So that is the feeling that I so love, to create something that they can show to their children, that builds a bridge between their children or their friends, or amongst the couple or whatever. So something that creates everlasting happiness.
I love that. You sound like a magician, Julia. Julia, what do you think? What would your top tips be for somebody or a woman who wants to start out collecting art?
So my top tips would be, women are still very undervalued. So I would say concentrate on women, not necessarily only, but I think if somebody really wants to do something specific or wants to do something very special, I'd say concentrate on women artists. But mainly, I would go into the sustainability subject. I would say either they collect an artist that deal with the topic, or that have used materials, or that are using materials that have been used before.
Recycled materials. Julia, what are your plans and dreams for your future?
My plans and dreams for the future are to venture out a little bit more into the corporate world, and also to help artists to sustain themselves so that they create from a place of happiness rather than unhappiness, and also to stay healthy.
Amazing, Julia. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
Thank you, Steph. Thank you.